versus droids. Jedi versus Sith. Good versus evil.
I will deal with the Jedi myself.
And a few laughs in between. You've just taken your first step into a larger world. Star Wars, The Clone Wars. This week's new adventure, tonight at 9:30. Their galaxy isn't far, far away anymore.
Clear.
Only on Cartoon Network.
I still remember watching the first episode of Clone Wars Season 1 with my buddy Will, all the way up in Ohio, back when they first released.
Damn.
Oh, man. They told me this ship was fast.
They told me the ship was fast.
I remember my dad taking me to the movie. I think I've told this story actually before. There was a kid in my theater that was calling the Clone Wars movie Episode 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I went up to him and I actually had to tell him that I couldn't stand the popcorn lineup, but I overheard it and I had to. I actually his ass. I know it's kind of cringe, but I had to let him know so he didn't get picked on. But I told him, I was like, yeah, no, that's not Episode 7. I was like, there's no way it's Episode 7 because Anakin and Obi-Wan and Yoda are all here and they're dead. they died. And he was just like, yeah, no, it's definitely Episode 7. I don't care. And I basically just called him an idiot from the kind of, fact checking him, being like, there's no way it's not possible.
Just be like, you're a dummy, you poo-poo head, you stupid idiot.
You want to fight about it? And it's just like, you hear the squeak of my sneakers. It's like, come at me. Come on. I'm ready for you.
Don't touch me. Fucking even look at me.
You're just like, square up, son. Get up. You think I'm joking? It's the Star Wars you're talking about.
But it's really funny. At that time, Episode 7 wasn't even a possibility.
Yeah.
So the Clone Wars was really the next step of Star Wars, was just going backwards in time.
That movie came out, what, like 2006, 2007, 2008? It was around there?
Yeah, 2008.
I remember my dad taking me, my mom and dad took me to a movie theater in Florida. Like, we were in Disney to go see that movie. My mom was like, should we really go take him to see this movie? I'm like, he's in Disney. He's like, oh no, it's fine. It's Star Wars. It was a good movie. I remember watching it at like a shitty little like tourist trap movie theater in Florida. It was amazing.
I remember watching it with my dad and I was so excited. I was so happy. And then I just assumed if they were going to make more Star Wars movies, it was going to be animated. So I didn't know about the TV show that was apparently planned and very much well announced by the time the movie came out. I didn't have a computer of my own. I never really used the computer. I didn't know how to look all that shit up at the time.
Cartoon Network.
Mm-hmm.
Cartoon Network.
No, we never had Cartoon Network in Canada at this point. We had Teletoon, but it didn't air on Teletoon yet, surprisingly, because Teletoon is basically, or it was, rest in peace, it was basically Canadians' equivalent to Cartoon Network.
Star Wars The Clone Wars, tomorrow at 5:30. Only on Teletoon.
But it actually aired on the Space Channel at first, which was a completely different channel that used to just... It used to air, like, episodes of Star Trek and all these, like, space-related shows, Battlestar Galactica and all that.
Cool. I like that. Well, we had sci-fi. It did, like, science fiction / fantasy stuff.
That was probably our equivalent to sci-fi, was probably just space. And I remember at my grandparents' place, this was around October when it premiered. So it was premiere night. I believe it was, yeah. So it was premiere night of the show. I had no idea the show even existed. I was looking on the TV guide. That tells you how old we are. I was looking on the TV guide and I saw Star Wars The Clone Wars, but it was like the little half icon. So I was like, oh, maybe the movie had already started and I'm going to catch like the last half hour of it. That's fine. And then I turn it on and it's, I see Plo Koon and he's talking. It's like, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, you call it the first few episodes. Oh, man. That's when they had like the CIS super ship.
Oh, yeah, the Malevolence. Yeah, it was the Malevolence episode. So like the premiere night was 2 episodes. It was the ambush episode with Yoda and the clones, and then it was the first episode of Malevolence arc.
I will crush the very life from the Republic scum.
The Malevolence is the ultimate weapon.
Brace for impact.
A mighty warrior controls its immense power, and he knows no mercy.
All cannons, fire!
Prepare yourself for a 3-part miniseries, Star Wars The Clone Wars, The Malevolence Saga. Next Friday night at 9:30.
Victory will be mine!
Only on Cartoon Network.
And Plo Koon, he was in the Clone Wars movie, in the opening recap. That was it. He was in the opening recap and he spoke no lines. He didn't speak at all. He was just a silent cameo. So when I see him here and he's moving around, he's talking, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I was like, did they already make a sequel to the movie? And I just didn't know.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is definitely not the movie. Like, this is something different. And I remember I phoned Dad and I was like, hey, so like, I'm watching something that looks like the Clone Wars movie. movie, but it's definitely not the Clone Wars movie. I was like, can you help me here? I was like, I need you to look this up. Is there a new movie? And maybe it was like straight to DVD or something. And my dad looked it up and he was like, oh, no, there's a TV series, son. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, the first season just started today. And I was like, oh. I was like, how many episodes are they supposed to be making? And he was like, about 22. And then the ship started exploding and they went into the escape pods. I just remember saying to my dad, I was like, I'll call you back. This is getting good. Bye. I hung up the phone and watched the rest of the episode.
Oh my god.
Remember afterwards, I phoned my dad back and I was like, yeah, we gotta start watching this. I was like, this is really good.
I say, me and my old buddy across the street, when I used to live in Ohio, like literally across the street, his name was Will. We would watch Clone Wars episodes together when they first came out, like here and there. It was very fun. Like I remember watching like some of like the Malevolence episodes over there. It was fantastic because we had Cartoon Network down here. That's where it aired. Mm-hmm. So I mean, Cartoon Network fucking pushed it because it's Star Wars. Everyone knows Star Wars.
Right.
We'll just push it. So, dads from the 70s and 80s, when even dads, like people from the 70s and 80s that know what they are, that are now dads now, can push it on their children.
Right.
Next, all new Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Nothing going on. As usual, we landed on the most boring post in the Outer Rim. And one of the most important. What the? It's an ambush! Sound the alarm! This way! Hurry! We have to retake this base.
See it all unfold on Star Wars The Clone Wars. Next Friday night at 9.
You wanted excitement.
Only on Cartoon Network.
Man, I remember the Malevolence episodes. It was the Clone Wars episodes with Heavy and
Rookies, man.
5. Yeah, the Rookies episode. I remember that one a lot. So I remember it was like, what the hell was that? I was like, oh my god, that is so weird.
What the hell was that?
Oh yeah, they said hell twice in that episode. It was so fucking awesome.
Look how you did.
Yeah, I know. It was hardcore, dude. Because of that, I grew up so fine and refined and kind-hearted. My favorite movie definitely isn't Full Metal Jacket or anything,
I just really remember watching the Rookies episode because I liked Captain Rex in the movie. And in the first couple of episodes, he wasn't really, like, in the first 4 episodes, he was kind of just, like, I think he had, like, a background cameo for one episode.
Yeah.
And,
I say he was the one that was like, Anakin, you need to meet me at this point. And then also was like, Anakin. He never says that. He says like General. Yeah, that was in the movie, but I think the very first line everyone remembers, at least for me, I remember, the very first line that Rex ever said, I remember it completely, was, they're shiny and new, just like you. It's like, oh my god, that's so good.
Looks like we got ourselves a batch of shinies, Commander. Shinies, sir? That's right. Your armor. It's shiny and new. Just like you.
Actually, Thomas, that wasn't one of his first lines. His first line was actually, what's our plan of attack, sir?
What's our plan of attack, sir?
Fuck, I'm gonna fucking kill him.
In Rookies, Rex finally had his own episode. That was episode 5. Oh man, it was such a good episode because it gave me what I wanted. It finally gave me more of Rex, and at the time, it gave us more Commander Cody because we didn't really know a whole lot about Commander Cody even. And
we knew about was him shooting Obi-Wan in episode 3.
That's true. That's very true. And he fucking kung fu kicks battle droids in the movie, in the Clone Wars movie.
Oh, the Clone Wars movie. Okay, I thought he was talking about episode 3.
No, he doesn't really. I don't think Commander Cody really. I don't think we actually see him fight really in that movie.
No, he's just kind of in the background. He just says, "Yes, sir," and then blast him.
My favorite clip of Cody from the Revenge of the Sith is it's that really wide shot of him just standing in the middle of the Utapau field, and the lightsaber just drops down, and he just kind of just looks down at it, picks it up, and then looks up in the air, and then it like wipes to a different scene.
Oh yeah. You say Obi-Wan's lightsaber is like what? What?
But no, Rookies was so good. It had Bad Woods in it. It was so cool.
They said hell, and that was it. Heavy always took place.
Oh, I remember Heavy specifically being like an eye-opening character for me that taught me like TV shows could be fucking radical. Like, oh, this is like some big kid shit. And the fact that like, all the lessons that the episode taught you. It was so good.
That was you big kid shit. Oh my god, wow.
Well, I mean, look, I at that time I had watched Hellboy and Star Wars, like killing younglings and stuff like that. So I'd seen big kid shit, but like that was
younglings, it slides away. So we don't really know. At least I was just a dumb, illiterate, stupid child. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid. Oh. my eye-opening experience, I think I had to rewatch the movie, was Kelly's Heroes, which I actually have on DVD. My uncle introduced me to so many World War II movies. Kelly's Hero was one of them. I was watching them. I don't know how it came up, but I was watching it. I said, "What do you think of that, Thomas?" Like, "Yeah, it's cool." And it was like one of the episodes where I think like they're stuck in a minefield and there's like grenades going off. It's like, "What do you think?" I said something about grenades being like awesome. I was like, "Well, you think grenades are awesome?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." He goes, "Yeah, those things." This is my uncle, by the way. He's like, "Those things explode and they create shrapnel, which kills people, Thomas. You think that's cool? You think killing people's cool?" I was like,
Oh, damn.
"Oh."
Just fucking guilt trip this kid.
To think about it. I was like, "Oh my god, that guy's not playing dead. He's like actually dead."
Damn.
So that was my was Kelly's Heroes of all the war movies, a comedy war movie from the 70s.
I think my it's actually really funny, you know, like I think for big kid stuff, it started really early for me. I think it was when Uncle Ben got shot in Spider-Man.
Uncle Ben, what happened? Squid Games.
That reminds me of that meme from the Clone Wars meme. It was like, Rex, Fives, what happened? Xbox Live.
Xbox Live.
But no, even when you think back on it too, because obviously he's in the Bad Batch as well, but like at the time when the Clone Wars came out, there weren't too many named clone troopers. You know, in the movies you had Commander Gree, you had Cody, and there's a couple background guys like Bakara and Neo. That was about it, you know? If you read the comics and the books, if you were a loser, then you knew more names. But in the Plo Koon episodes, you had Sinker and Boost and Wolf. Yeah, don't forget, Wolf was in that second episode with Plo Koon. He was the guy inside the escape pod that was trying to get the transmission to Anakin.
Okay, yeah.
A lot of people don't remember because he had both of his eyes back then. You know, you had Sinker, Boost, and Wolf, and then jump forward a couple of episodes, and some of the earliest clones that were named were Echo, Fives, and Heavy. And obviously, you know, Droid Bait and Cut Up, rest in peace.
Dude, those clones are so base. Watching actual like softcore porn, it was amazing. Doing arm wrestling like man things. It was great.
Echo, what's wrong with you? We should be out in the field blasting droids. God, I know that episode off by heart.
Jesus.
Give him a break. He was in his growth jar too long.
I need to find like the complete series of like the actual like Clone Wars on DVD. That would be so nice to have.
Dude, I have it right here.
I know. You're a fucking nerd, Marcus.
I know. Don't remind me. The one thing that sucks about Clone Wars though is that it doesn't have a complete series box set.
Yeah, that's true. Marcus over here, he has the complete series of the not the complete series, but the actual like Clone Wars series on DVDs. While I'm over here like, man, I can't believe I have like the Pacific, Band of Brothers.
I have that.
Girls Last Tour.
I have that. I have both of those things that you just mentioned.
What you don't have the Girls Last Tour though. You don't have the collector's edition, which I spent like $120.
Yeah, because I need $120 to fuel my crack addiction.
Well, you see, as a true patriot of Girls Last Tour, I actually watched the series. I'm like, man, I want more. This is cool. And then I read the manga online. Oh.
I'll get around to it. I'm working on it.
They all say, Mark. That's what they all fucking say.
On August 15th,
I can't shake him! Hang on!
the Star Wars saga returns with the untold story of the ultimate battle.
What's our plan of attack, sir?
Follow me. The heroes.
Skywalker is the Republic's only hope.
The villains.
Surrender, Skywalker.
The adventure.
Gotta keep up!
This is where the fun begins.
Oh, dear.
Star Wars, The Clone Wars. Rated PG, in theaters August 15th.